Welcome back to Orchid Delirium. I'm Brenda, and hopefully you're happier to spend your time with me than this little guy. He is just totally over these orchids and the attention I give them, so he's just going to continue to ignore me while I move on to buds, blooms, and growths. And this is my Catasetanae tenebrosum. It is actually fading. I didn't get a chance to really photograph it when it was in its full flush. It just had a whole different shape, different color, and it has since faded to a deeper brown burgundy. And it just has such a very unique characteristics. If you want to see the Paulina being activated, I have my episode 14 where I mess around with that and get it to trigger. But it's such a fun plant, and I love having it. This is an Oncidium HEAVENSCENT REDOLENCE. This is my first orchid. It is fragrant, it is big, and it is a 1.5 years old, and this is the third blooming in my care, but the first time I've been able to have more than one small little weak flower spike inflorescence. And I'm just kind of waiting for it to come into full flush. It has a really nice fragrance. I wish that all the inflorescences were ready and to burst open, but these do last a little while, and I'm excited to see it again. It's just really, really pretty. And this is my Paphiopedilum hissing. This one, it kind of it had a lot going on. It had a new fan starting, it had a growth, and then it shot out this flower spike, and it has since rotted off the previous growth, and now this one is starting to rot off, and as I'm removing the damaged leaves, I'm finding mealybugs all in there. So I'm really sad, and I hope that I don't lose this one. This is my trio of Catasetanae that are all on their first blooming and developing a flower spike on immature bulbs. I'm still debating on whether to lop them off. I really don't want to stress them and drain them, and they're very young and small, so I don't know. They do have a lot of happy sap, but that isn't always an indicator that they're super healthy, so I don't know. But this is my Stanhopea, HERNANDEZII, MATTHIS, and sorry while I struggle through my words, but I have roots going, I have a growth coming, which we'll just have fun guessing at whether it's a new bulb or if it's a flower spike. These are my Kefersteinias. They're just kind of still just in a constant state of blooming, and I love them. They're just so cute, and this one actually has its first inflorescence for me. It came with a couple, and the way they grow towards the edge of the pot, when I lift them, I tend to like smash them. So I'm going to try to be careful with this one. I really, really, really want to see this one open up for me. This is my GASTROCHILUS japonicus, and it is the first blooming for me in my care, and I think that the flower, like the color, the pigmentation isn't as strong as when I first got it, but it still has the same amount of blooms, 5, and it has roots. It looks worse than it is. It just always has this pale, like green, dry, like kind of coloring to it, but it's actually quite happy on its mount, and I just had to add more moss just because the humidity is really, really dropping right now with the heat here. So here's a little intimate look into their inner workings. This is my Haraella RETROCALLA. I can never ever get this one to do more than one bloom at a time. Even if it has 2 buds, one will seemingly blast. So you can see the purple pigmentation starting to develop within the bud, so you can see that kind of poking through. There's nothing wrong with the bloom. It's not rotting or anything. That's just the pigmentation developing, and more roots coming, and I'm ready to change the moss on this one. It's just so yucky with algae. This is my Scaphosepalum OCHTHODES, and this one is in a constant state of bloom and extending its inflorescence, and some of them have dried off in my care, but I did notice that it is a new growth and it has this weird like overlapping root growth. So they kind of almost look like little hairs, but all those are roots there, and they just kind of vine and reach down. So I am thinking that once I get more cork, I may consider mounting this one, since it looks like it wants to like vine and grab and be very jungly. This is a Scaphosepalum. I could not read the name on the label, but it had little orange blooms on it, or orange and burgundy, and it just has it extends out its inflorescences and is growing a whole lot of them. This is my PHRAG PEARCEII, and this is just my pride and joy. I'm so excited, and it has fully bloomed and has coiled its tendrils, so now there's some texture there. It has a lot of frilly rippleness on it, and it has like a little mustache, which is so stinking adorable. I can't stand it. The whole plant is looking much better. It has some problems that I think I might address later on. I was talking to Ninja from Ninja Orchids, and she's kind of given me the strength to tackle it and really just handle things with this one. But I might wait till the blooming finishes. It kind of has like sequential buds that come out, and I'm really hoping to see that see them as many as it will give me all in bloom together. I know that's really hard to get, but the gentle pink pigmentation, the veining, the coiling, there's just so much going on with this PHRAG, and I know that's pretty typical with them. They are very showy, but this one, the way it used to look when I first got it and was trying to figure out its culture and how I can act, like I could read it, but how do I actually do it, I struggled with. So for me, this is kind of like a big win, and you can see here discoloration on this leaf. I'm fairly certain it's just getting old, it's not virus. Anyway, I'll go into more detail in another video, but I really want to thank you for stopping by and checking out what's going on in my growth space. Thank you so much.